Well, anxiety is the most common mental health condition in Australia, with at least 1 in 4 people likely to experience it at some point in their lives. Since COVID, psychologists have reported a significant rise in the number of people seeking help for it.
This week, ABC News launched the Anxiety Project, a special series to raise awareness of this critical issue. Joining us now is advocate and Year 12 student Dominique. Good morning and welcome to News Breakfast.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to chat. I wanted to ask you, first of all, to just tell us a little bit about your experiences with anxiety.
I found that it can be quite debilitating due to the very nature of anxiety. It's so unpredictable and you can't really plan for it at all. So it can be so disruptive to routine. And I found that schools and workplaces simply don't provide a supported enough environment to deal with symptoms of anxiety, such as panic attacks and anxiety attacks. It means that I often have to rework my entire day, which is really difficult to do when you have plans like school that are really not something that you can really shift in your own power. And then I'm also a chronic before bed overthinker, which really isn't helpful and really decreases my quality of sleep.
How would you like sort of the schools or people that you interact with to try and operate differently to take into account? Like how could it be a better situation?
I think that safe spaces are really important. Just giving people times, like a space to have a break and to refocus and regroup and not be in an environment where there's so much noise and sensory input constantly.
Do you think COVID-19 has made it more difficult for younger people that we are, well, I mean, statistically, we are seeing that there are more people coming forward saying they're suffering from anxiety, but is that what you're also hearing anecdotally?
Yeah, definitely. And we found that COVID has definitely hindered wholesome social development. And the transition to school in of itself provokes anxiety in so many people. But then additionally, you've got the additional layer of health anxiety related to COVID, which isn't great. And my work with the Mental Health Foundation of Australia and through consultation with young people found that this is actually a pretty universal experience. And people that haven't even experienced symptoms of anxiety are starting to experience them now and not recognize them as symptoms of anxiety until recently. And I think it really goes to show that with the increased prevalence of anxiety, we need to increase supportive services for young people in particular.
Yeah, and well, what's been your experience with the mental health system?
I personally have found it extremely difficult to seek help and navigate the public health system as a young person. And it's pretty common for our concerns to be dismissed or invalidated or simply redirected to a service that isn't suitable and doesn't tailor to your concerns. In general, young people are often unsupported, and wait times and the referral process and the fact that we are society's most vulnerable and financially insecure population makes it really difficult, especially for young people who don't have access to private health insurance or don't fit the criteria for mental health schemes because of their parents' income. And I am no stranger to this, and my lived experience continues to inform my advocacy for accessible and equitable health services.
And I'm thinking not only young Australians, but young and diverse Australians would have that added challenge, I suppose.
Yes, that completely presents additional barriers. My work with the Y Commission found that so many young people from diverse backgrounds simply aren't seeing representative service providers. And they want people who look like them and are culturally literate and LGBT plus informed. And the Y Commission has found that these are all areas that really need to be addressed.
Dominique, it's great to have your insights into this, someone who is open about the anxiety that they have experienced, but also how much you're doing to try and make sure you change it for other people. Thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely to speak to you, Lisa.